try, so big up him. And then I want to check out quickly this video regarding podcast cringe, of course, regarding Bert Kreischer v Shane Gillis. I haven't seen this yet, so let me see what this is about. This came out 4 days ago. Let's quickly see what he's saying here. We won't watch the whole thing. I just want to quickly get a vibe of what he's saying. So big up podcast cringe. If you don't know, now you know, motherfuckers. So let's see what he's saying here. Bert Kreischer v Shane Gillis. Let me see what the vibe is saying here. Come on, son. Load. There we go.
If you ask me, like, do I like being famous? Yeah, I do. I don't mind it at all. I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
And when someone says,
good for you.
I'm sure there's times where it's taxing on my family. It definitely is. We were at Target the other day doing a road trip, and someone got on the loudspeaker and was like, the machine is in the building.
Yeah.
And I heard people scream.
Yeah.
And my daughters got really upset. And Leanne went and chastised the manager and was like, yo, he's with his family. He's trying to have a moment. And I was like, let it go. Who gives a shit? What's up, brother?
Are you a YouTuber?
No.
Streamer?
No. I'm just a comedian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, can you tell us a joke?
Yeah, when I was 22 years old, I got involved with the Russian mafia. How's that?
I don't really get it.
I'm trying to think of a child-friendly joke I have. I don't know. I don't got one for you.
Oh, I just wanted
Take
to
care,
ask
brother.
I just want to ask if you were a YouTuber or anything. Cause...
No.
Oh, okay.
Just a comedian.
All right.
Sorry to let you down, brother. Have a good one.
Kids can be so cruel sometimes.
That exchange that child is fucking hilarious. I don't really get it. The Russian what?
The sound of disappointment in Bert's voice as he tried to pretend he's not a YouTuber really does tug at the heartstrings. He's just a comedian. But there's a deeper meaning in there which I think is really interesting. I'm not going to go down the whole social media changed everything routine, but I will say there are countless celebrities in adjacent fields who have turned to YouTube to get that ad revenue, and as a result they've found an audience which isn't typically their bread and butter. So for comedians like Bert, Andrew Schultz, Tim Dillon, Theo Von, they're comedians first and foremost. Some of them are actually quite good comedians, but they blew up on YouTube, not on the stage. So does that make them YouTube comics? I don't know, and does it really matter? Well, take someone like Shane Gillis, for example. Where does he fit into the Rogan comedy universe? Most of us know him from his awesome, not-so-secret podcast on YouTube and from his regular appearances on JRE as well, but there's something different about Shane Gillis, because I definitely wouldn't call him a YouTube comic. For me, he's a straight-up-and-down stand-up comedian, and that's what makes him so confusing to everyone.
What is your one bougie thing? What is your one thing that it's like?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, I'm a little bit like I wouldn't want people to know. Yeah. I'm a little bit.
I don't care if they know. I have first class flights.
Have to do first class, so you can read your Steinbeck. I was really impressed with that.
Shut up.
Okay, but what's the other bougie expense? Is it like, okay, obviously the comfort of first class. Is there anything you're like, ugh, I didn't know that I was this guy, and then you experience it and you're like, now I kind of have to be this guy?
No.
Really?
No.
Hotels, you don't care? You don't have to stay at a nice hotel?
Hotels.
Okay, so we're going to find a lot of things.
A little. But no, it was like, I thought I was like, I don't care where I stay. And then I got in the worst hotel possible.
And it's like, no.
I like called my manager and I was like, all right, can we, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking like the worst hotel possible.
Yeah.
Like motel, like you park in front of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you demand right now?
Nothing.
You have a rider?
Love Shane. Love Shane.
Any snack.
Look at how disappointed they all are. The silence. They're like, bro, why aren't you balling out? They all want him to be fucking Rogan. They want him to have like 11 cars, right? And a helicopter and a gold hat. It's like, bro, like, why can't, that's what most people should do, to be fair. I think I'm the same. I'm more of a, I don't know, what was you call it? I would like the option to be able to like eat at a nice restaurant without looking at the bill, right? The option to like go on holiday somewhere randomly, just fucking throw a dart at a map and just go there. That all those type of things will be a good way to use your money and your wealth, as opposed to just buying a big fur coat or buying a gold car or something. It's like, you know, after you have one car, do you really need 7? You know, really and truly. Once you have one big house, you need 4. Not really. So really and truly, the creature comforts, like what he's saying, like, I don't know, being able to board quicker on your flight, right? What you call it? Being able maybe to upgrade your seats, being able to stay in a nice hotel, being able to do, what's that thing? Because I've never done that thing before when you go to the hotel. What's that thing when you go and do like the lounge thing, where you go to an area where you can kind of sit down and have a drink and shit, and I think it's like an airport. I don't know what it's even called, the name of it, but you know what I mean. When you have a ticket, I think that's business class or first class, and you go to like the airport lounge, that sort of thing, right? That's a nice little kind of bonus or a nice little upgrade in lifestyle once you get a bit of money. But everything else is a bit extreme. And also, you think about it, if you're a comedian, weird thing to say this, right? But if you're a comedian, part of your like comedy is that friction, or is that kind of reality. You need to experience it. So maybe sometimes it's quite beneficial for you to kind of like have a life where you have some levels of like poverty or something, right? Like you're doing it to yourself on purpose. Like you could go somewhere on a private jet, but you go fly coach. You could drive there, but you take the bus. I don't know, little things that you do just so you can interact with real people in serious situations. Maybe that's why Dave Chappelle just pops up in random places from time to time, because that's the way he kind of, you know, leads himself to be somewhat grounded. You kind of need that. If you're just getting chauffeured everywhere from point to point, you're getting flown to clubs in helicopters and shit, it's gonna be hard to be funny, innit? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it a bit weird, but maybe that's part of it as well. Or just maybe your personality as well. Maybe you just don't care about that shit. And Shane clearly doesn't care.
I can't figure you out.
In my green room, I get fruit and hummus.
Hummus is good.
And
solid.
Bud Light and White Claws.
Solid.
But that was just my manager came up with that.
I cannot figure it.
That's
I can't figure you out.
Why?
That is a writer, but he's saying he didn't come up
I
with
didn't
it.
do that. She just did it.
She knows. But it's a nice luxury.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's like,
What else?
you want steak dinners.
Well, I want chicken and steak because
No,
I
just
don't
get
want to just
pizza.
eat.
You see the difference?
I don't want to eat pizza.
Yeah.
You
That's
see
it.
the
I
difference
understand.
between hummus and White Claws?
What do we start with?
Between-
We have a hummus platter that's
Hummus
there all
platter.
the time.
No, you start with that. His whole rider is just hummus and White Claw. So there's a difference.
So what are you ordering for dinner?
That's what I'm saying. It's like
Imagine Andrew Schultz requesting the Ha bring him a steak and a chicken to his green room. That is 100% bougie, isn't it? You want a fucking steak in the shitty little, like in any club, you want a steak. They can't, you know what I mean? They can't give you a couple chicken nuggets or some parmesan or some cheese, some chips covered in parmesan cheese. It has to be fucking steak with some macaroni and cheese on the side, or some fucking cream greens or something. It's like, come on, bro.
that is crazy. What's going on here?
What are we talking about?
Nothing.
There's got to be one. You've got
What do
some
we
money.
do?
There's
No.
got to be a thing. Nothing?
He's embarrassed to be remotely demanding.
I would never be demanding.
See?
Out of shame.
Ever.
Now.
The
I mean,
perception,
hopefully I get there.
the perception of bougie is
But I'm
worse
not
than the
like-
perception
I
of
like
gay.
it.
Oh,
for
that's
Shane.
interesting. Okay, so
This is I have one pair of pants. These shoes stink. I've been wearing them for 3 months.
that's a 3-month white sneaker.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
So for the average YouTube comic, it's hard to understand why another
Exactly.
comedian just wants to do his own thing his own way,
Exactly.
without all those bells and whistles, without all the behind-the-scenes cringe. You know, those documentaries they make about themselves and feed to their thirsty fanboys who love being spoon-fed cringy content, celebrating every single moment of their idols' lives.
I said, one day I want to headline Madison Square Garden, and I remember you stopped what you were doing.
Podcast cringe is the best. I knew he'd rip into this. I saw this. I was like, you know what? This video trailer thing that Andrew Schultz put together about Madison Square Garden was kind of sweet with his dad and shit in it, but it was also like, come on, bro, get over yourself, man. Like, honestly, get over yourself. The level of ego and the level of fucking, I don't know, like you'd have to like make this is insane. Like, because this is something that came out of Andrew Schultz's head. This is not his agents telling him this. This is not his production company pitching him. This is a creation of Andrew's. He did this, the whole entire thing. It's fucking cringe, man. It really is. Unfortunately, it is what it, and I don't know.
And you looked me in the eyes and you said, I'll see you there. Wow. And it was like really important to me because
His dad doesn't remember because he's lying. His dad doesn't remember saying that to him because he's lying.
I'll see you there. Wow. And it was like really important to me because I felt like I wasn't the only person that believed it could happen.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong. Andrew crying for selling out Madison Square Garden 2 separate dates makes more sense than Brendan crying because his friends made a video about thanking him for being alive or something, right? That was an odd one. So I think if you're going to crying because you fucking sold out in Madison Square Garden in your home city makes sense. I get it. Fair enough. But the music, come on, man, this is too much.
And I know as you get older, you know, sometimes things become hard to remember, but I remember everything.
No offense to Schultz's father, that's obviously a very special moment between a father and a son, don't get me wrong, but shouldn't that be a private moment? I mean, the multiple camera setup, the close-ups, the music.
Exactly.
I digress. Anyway, so then how is it possible for someone like Shane to benefit from the Brogan effect, but still be considered an old-school stand-up comedian who is widely respected in the YouTube community and in the stand-up comedy community alike? Can he have it both ways? Well, yeah, I think he can. So let me explain. This might take a while.
They say that socially important comedy is the only comedy that's necessary, the only comedy that you have to do. That is just because they suck.
Yeah.
That is it. It's like the cop-out is that they can't do the real comedy. They can't crush. It's not like someone goes from being, you know, like Shane Gillis, one of the best comics up and coming right now. He's fantastic. I can't recommend enough seeing that guy live. I work with him in Irvine, and I hadn't seen like his whole set. I was crying. I mean, he's so good.
I heard he's
so
a racist, so I haven't listened to any of his material. No,
he's so good, and his comedy is just trying to be as funny as possible. Yeah. There's not a chance in hell that guy's just going to go woke and is just going to start promoting some sort of, you know, socially conscious agenda that's, you know, facetious and just a bunch of nonsense that he's trying to elevate his own personal brand and virtue signal. That's not going to happen.
So that Rogan interview was from about a year ago on episode 300 of the Lex Friedman podcast, and I think Joe actually captured the essence of Gillis's style of comedy really well. He's just trying to be funny. There's no social message. There's no underlying moral to his stand-up routines. He pokes fun at everyone and anything. No one's safe, right? But I think that's the simple answer to the Shane Gillis equation, because I think sitting behind his mask of simplicity is a well-educated, deep thinker. I mean, the guy went to West Point, then played football, then went and taught English in Spain. Most stand-up comedians crawled out of a trash can and stumbled onto a stage.
And you know what's funny about Shane's intelligence? Like actual intelligent people, he doesn't really boast about it too much. You don't hear him talking about himself in those terms. He doesn't suck himself off. And that's what makes him incredibly likable. Do you know what I mean? Like, he really is just kind of like, if you listen to him speak, you can kind of hear it, especially when he does those history podcasts that he was doing with Louis C.K. for a bit. You definitely hear it, but he's definitely just chill. So big up Shane. And yeah, big up Uche as well. Good to see ya. Wagwan, wagwan.
Now, this video isn't some Shane Gillis biography or tribute to the man or anything cringy like that. What I'm more interested in is the difference between Shane Gillis and someone like Bert Kreischer, and what makes both of them so unique and odd, yet still kind of part of the same world. On the most recent episode of Bertcast with Chris DiStefano, which was actually recorded at the beginning of September when Shane Gillis's latest special was released, they dedicated a whole segment of that podcast to discussing Shane's special. Now, for my regular viewers, this is yet another example of Tom and Bert's obsession with banking episodes and drip feeding them to us months later. I mean, seriously, it's 2023, guys. And one of Bert's signature moves is to use any opportunity to discuss what it's like to be famous and how much he enjoys it. In the intro, I played that clip of him telling DiStefano about being famous in Target. His family didn't like it, but he was like, just chill, it's all good. And so this was the back end of that conversation.
Okay. We went and saw Queen with Adam Lambert, and we were backstage. We got backstage passes, and they saw Sandra Bullock. And my daughter's lost her. And my wife lost her. And they wanted to go up and get a picture. And I had to stop them and say, hey, she's just here watching a show. Let her have her time. They forget what that's like when you're in like rural, when you're in Coos Bay, San Francisco, or California, and you're at a Target and or wherever we were, and you've never really met a famous person, and all of a sudden you find out that someone you've seen is in the building.
Yeah.
It's thrilling.
It's cool. Yeah.
But Shane it's about to happen to Shane.
Yeah.
Man, most of this podcast was just Bert talking and DiStefano saying yeah in 50 different ways. But that's how they got into the discussion about Shane Gillis' special, which, like I said earlier, was released on the same day they...
By the way, Shane Gillis' special was definitely one of the better ones from that JRE verse. Maybe his and, what's his name? Ari Shafir. That one was really good as well. From the Rogan verse... And the Bappa, yeah, that's it. That's only good ones, isn't it, really? Shane Gillis is one, and Shane's one. So Shane Gillis is one, sorry, and Ari's one. And maybe Stavros is one. Stavros' one was okay, but he's not really associated. He's kind of loosely associated with them guys. But from the whole JRE Bappa verse, only Ari and Shane dropped actually good stand-up specials. The rest of them were trash.
They recorded this podcast.
I heard Shane's special hours, like one of the best hours in years. It's amazing.
You know what's so funny? I just watched. I put it on in the gym. I run. I only watched the first 5 minutes of a special. I've seen that special probably 30 times.
Like actually live,
seen it,
right?
But I've never seen the front of it. I've never seen it from the audience
because you're seeing it at the end.
No, because I watch it from side stage.
Oh, got it.
I've only seen it from side stage, or I've never seen his facial expressions.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was so animated.
Yeah.
And
He's a great comic.
I watched it and I went, oh, this is really phenomenal. I texted him. I was like,
yeah.
I texted him this morning.
It feels like, I was talking about this last night with Andrew Santino. It feels like Shane's special coming, I think it came out today. At midnight, right? Like that's one of those specials that like you already know. Like it's getting him to the next level, even beyond what he is now. Like it's already like, it's just happening.
I remember watching this the first time and thinking, geez, Bert really does have to make everything about himself.
Exactly.
He didn't actually want to talk about Gillis's special. He was more interested in telling everyone that he'd seen it way before them multiple times and that he texted Gillis to congratulate him on the special as if he's like Joe Rogan or Jerry Seinfeld or something. And that was the frustrating thing for me because I wanted to hear DiStefano's take on that special. But Bert simply couldn't have that. What we ended up with was a humble brag compilation starring Bert Kreischer.
Here's the deal: is like I've taken him out with me a number of times.
I also really dislike. This is like a small pet peeve of mine, tiny pet peeve, tiny pet peeve of mine. I really dislike. Oh yeah, true. Jordan Jensen. That's that girl, innit? Yeah, I've got a fucking. I want to put that on my list. I've got to watch that. Someone else told me to watch that special. That was the special that was done in the same company as Louis J. Gomez's one, isn't it? The 30-minute special. That girl did one at the same time. And everyone was saying that one was actually the best one of the lot. I need to check her out. I think that's the same girl, Jordan Jensen. I need to check her out because people are saying that's a really good special. What was I going to say? So, pet peeve of mine is this. I really dislike when stand-up comedians, like, they already bore us with their fucking inside baseball talk about fucking stand-up. Just take it all the way further and actually break down specials, please. Could you please do that? Instead, what they do when they talk about specials, it's going to take him to the next level. He's going to be selling so many tickets now. It's always about the money. It's never about the art. Like, could you actually tell us from your professional point of view why that special is good? Could you maybe break down a joke? Could you maybe give us an insight on how the timing works? And like, do something, like, give us a little bit of an insight from your professional point of view that we probably wouldn't see as, like, regular civilians. Apart from, this is going to do so many views. He's going to sell loads of tickets. He's going to go on a tour. We know it. We get it. The guys are going to get more famous, but give us better insight than that, man. It's a little pet peeve of mine, but I'm always annoyed when they do that sort of thing. Oh, yeah, he's going to get to the next level. All right, cool, we get it. But why was it funny? Can you, like, tell us why it was funny, please? Can you describe why it was funny a little bit? Probably, please. God damn.
the Super Bowl to Fully Loaded both years. I've been with him a lot. I've watched him. I've watched the audience receive him at different times in his career. And when we were at the Super Bowl, I thought this is something's happening. Like I can sense it. So I've seen it happen for me. I've seen it happen for Tom. I've seen it happen for a lot of different people.
Right.
And when we did Fully Loaded this year, it was crazy.
They went nuts for him.
And I went, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, this is about to pop. And he had just taped his special. And I was like, how did it go? And he gave me like a nod, like,
Good.
I got it.
Good.
And so it's and I think it's a perfect storm. I know this isn't stuff that he would want to hear said about him, but like I think there's a huge pushback of people going like, you don't tell me what's funny.
Right.
And the audience members.
So I can appreciate what Bert's saying. He's trying to give his own perspective, being one of Gillis's close friends and colleagues. But the way he frames it is like, yeah, everyone's just seeing this now, but I knew all of this all along. I was there when it was happening. It's almost like he's trying to participate in Gillis's success in a way. Yeah, I helped him out. I put him in front of my audience. I discovered him. Now, I know a whole bunch of you are watching this right now and thinking that I'm exaggerating. I feel that. Don't worry. Trust me. I hear you. But I need you to hear me out here. DiStefano is about to make actually quite a profound point here, which I thought was really insightful and fit in nicely with what we heard Rogan say earlier with Lex Friedman. But just watch the way that Bert derails DiStefano's thoughts and then proceeds to, yet again, make it about himself.
Well, Shane's one of those guys, in my opinion, he's funny in any generation. Like some guys are getting, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I might even be one of these guys that like, maybe I'm only having a little bit of success because of the generation.
No.
But I'm just saying, like, he's definitely not, though. He's like, if it was 1950, he'd be where he's at. Versus
I think
if it was
he'd be progressive if it was 1950.
right. I'm saying like he's not a it's not like because of TikTok or it's like he's just any algorithm, any medium, he's just going to the top. So that's good.
I think he's
good to see.
There's a lot about him that I would break down that I think make him very funny. But number one, and across the board, is he's actually a really great comedian, and it's a great hour. I watched like the beginning, and then I put it on mute and watched it and read it as I worked out. I'll watch it again. I've seen it before, but I told him, I was like, this is gonna be.
So did you guys know that Bert has already seen Gillis's special like 30 times? Yeah, he saw it before you and me did, 'cause celebrity. So instead of engaging with DiStefano's attempt to actually say something about Gillis as a comedian and a man, Bert finds a way yet again to talk about how famous he is. Seriously, you could not make this up.
He's not going to like what it does to him.
Right.
It's sadly, a guy like me doesn't mind it because I'm always been a little bit of a.
You're like life of the party.
I like to have a good time, and if you're asking me like, do I like being famous? Yeah, I do. I don't mind it at all. I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
And when someone says,
good for you.
I'm sure there's times where it's taxing on my family. It definitely is. We were at Target the other day.
Man, DiStefano was working hard in this one. No, seriously, watch how he reads the room, quickly realizes that Bert isn't actually interested in talking about Shane. I mean, remember, this was the day his special dropped 2 months ago. And DiStefano nails it here. He's low-key roasting Bert, but he's also just trying to keep the conversation flowing. He's a smart cookie, this DiStefano kid. I like him more and more each time I see him.
Everyone in every Walmart and Target he's about to be their favorite.
That is you too. Like they should just put your face in the Target sign. You're a fan. You are Target.
He is, and I'm curious to watch that because like Tom definitely pushed back from it and was like, I do not want to be recognized. He told people, don't come up and talk to me.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting to see how people deal with it. Artists like that.
Tom's interesting because I feel like Tom will have the arena sold out in the town and could walk past the arena in the middle of the day and there might be people that don't say anything to him. I mean, his fans will go crazy, but it's like he's done a good,
fans won't give him.
He's been able to do so well and also maintain his anonymity well as well. Like he's
at
the top of the game, but yeah.
We've had people come up to us and they'll recognize him and think it's me.
Right.
And they'll be like, yo, you're Bert. And he'll be like, nope.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you're the Kool-Aid guy. I saw you in the Kool-Aid clip. And he'll be like, nope. And then I'll walk up and they'll be like, shut the f up. Wait, is he the bald guy on the show? And like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like, and we went to
Christ,
NASCAR. He maybe got recognized like 5 times. I got recognized like 500 times.
I believe it.
And
Yeah.
he was blown away, but I think he also didn't put himself out on social media the way I do. I'm all over TikTok. Like, it's just a way you approach.
Yeah, it
celebrity.
depends what you
like,
want. It's like your method is right and his method is right. It's
There's
just
nothing
what
wrong
people
with
want.
either
Yeah.
one. I kind of wish I'd played his game a little bit.
Right.
Because it can be overwhelming.
So let's just pause for a moment to appreciate Bert Kreischer's social media game. This is the latest clip that he's posted on social media as of recording this video.
You ready? I don't like his dazzles on a line by itself.
You want to do this where people aren't talking?
I would move a titch of razzle dazzle to the next line.
I know how to get her to stop
Special Media
talking.
Festival and a world tour.
Cincinnati, Milwaukee, Nashville, Springfield, Little Rock. I'm coming this week.
What kind of humor is this anyway? Like, someone needs to explain to me what this humor is. This whole, like, I'm naked, I'm semi-naked. Look, it's a man that hasn't got his top off. Like, why is that funny? Someone needs to explain to me why that's funny. It's like, it's of the same level of humor as like a guy putting on a wig. Look, I'm a woman now. Ha ha, look at me with a wig. Like, why is that funny? Why is that funny? Because you're fat. So just being fat's funny. Look at my fat body, I'm funny. Okay, cool. I don't know. It's so fucking shit.
All right, you can talk again.
So actually,
It's
what
next week.
Next
have
week.
that first
But
sentence
it did shut
on the
her
first
up.
line, and then hit return.
Anyway, let's leave it there. Big up big up Podcast Cringe. Thank you for the clip. Appreciate you always putting out good content there. Big up Podcast Cringe.